especially in the kingdom of the Davidic kingdom of King David. As you can imagine, King David, King Solomon, they were the most powerful. Everyone would have to come to them and bow to them, and they're the king, they're in charge. And there was only one other person who I would say that the king would give honor to. And there's a story about King Solomon. As you can imagine, he was the king, the most powerful person there. And then you would think that in those times, to his right, there would be his wife. But no, because, well, first of all, he had many wives. That could not happen. And then there's a story where King Solomon came, and he was sitting on his throne, and then his mother, Bathsheba, comes, and the king bows towards her. And he takes a chair, puts it on his right, and she sits on his right, and she becomes the second most powerful person in that kingdom. To the point where the king gives her reverence and honor and his heart. The reason why we celebrate the queenship of Mary is because guess who is our king? Jesus Christ. And when you look at the gospel, I want you to understand, we've read this so many times, but I want you to understand, when you look at kings and queens in our world, are they humble? Not really. How does a king become king? Are they reverent and humble? The opposite. But when you look at Jesus and Mary, it is their absolute openness and surrender and humility that is the most powerful thing to witness. Mary had no idea. Yes, she dedicated her life to God. Did she know at a young age she would be the mother of God? No. She knew she was going to give her life away, that she would give everything to God. But in this moment, she's scared in the sense of like, who am I? The minute that the angel Gabriel says the word full of grace, meaning you are not an ordinary girl. You are full of God's grace. Your sanctity, your purity, your goodness, your humility, it is there. The word full of grace, if you can only see the Greek, it means that something's already established and finished. Not to be done. It is already done. She is full of grace. And then he says, you will be the mother of the Most High God. And the Lord God will give him the throne of David his father. What does throne mean, friends? It means kingdom. King. In that moment, Mary becomes queen, not because she wanted it or asked for it or expected it, but because of her yes for all ages. Friends, understand that Mary did not have to say yes. She did out of her profound love for God and her surrender, not knowing what will happen in the future, but understanding that her life belonged to God. When you look at Jesus and Mary, the king and queen of our world, of us, of the universe, of everything, their posture is what we model. The world says the way that to be powerful is what? To be strong, to take what is yours, to take and to grab and to hoard. Mary and Jesus say the way to be king and queen is to give away, to let go, to surrender, and to be humble. Do you see how both of that is different from the world? Different, very different. We celebrate Mary by our yes to God, not in the one moment of yes, but in every day, the little yeses that we have to God. But most especially, the way we model them is through humility. Humility, humility. I said this to you last week. Someone asked me, because sometimes they ask me, Father, what is a great sin? What are the great sins? I said pride. Pride is the problem of everything. Pride is the source of all sin, friends. That's how Satan fell. How do we combat pride? Humility. How do we receive humility? By asking for God to help us with it. And there are moments when we ask for humility. What happens, friends? We are profoundly humbled. We are misunderstood. Something happens with people around us, but it is the only way that God can curb our human pride and arrogance. So friends, today we celebrate a wonderful day that the church adds this because we celebrated the Feast of the Assumption. And now, as all these days go by, we celebrate a God in his profound goodness who would give us a queen that is the most humble queen of them all.